Showboats have won it in overtime. Going to hand this off up the middle for Marable. He's going to fumble. Ball's loose. And St. Louis picks it up. That will do it. The Battlehawks defense makes a play late. Game on the line. Looking to throw. Has time. End zone. Incomplete. It's incomplete. The Stallions hang on to win. For overtime. DeLeo to throw. Pass. Caught by Roland. Needs some help. Not gonna get it. He stopped a yard short. Houston will pull off the upset. Looking to throw. Has time. Deep. Right side. Overthrown. Picked off. It's intercepted by Keenan Isaac. He's gonna need it right there. They hand this off right side for Roland. They convert the 10-5. Chris Roland. I should shut up. Chris Roland touchdown. That's the dagger. Knicks toss left side and there's room. Has past the 30, past the 40, past the 20, 15, 10, 5. RJ Harvey. There we go. One play. Just need one play out of you. Gonna play action and look to throw. Mariota, sometime. Pass, intercepted. It's picked off. Yes, yes. One play was all they needed. Jack Jones. Williams, play action. Rolling left, looking to throw. Has time. Pass, end zone, intercepted. It's Keyshawn Nixon calling game. Darnold to throw. Has time. Pass, wide open. Over the middle. The Seattle Seahawks do it. Play action looking to throw. Williams has some time. Pass deep. Over the middle. Has a man. It's DJ Moore. Touchdown Chicago. They win in overtime. Snap good. Hold good. Kick up. And he missed it. Wide right. The Steelers will host Houston on Monday night. Williams in shotgun. Back to his right. 3 receiving options to the left. 4th and 4. Trip to Seattle on the line. Man in motion. Williams looking to throw. Pressure coming. Rolling left. Trying to buy some time. Back near the 40. Pass left side. Williams is caught. Touchdown Chicago. Cole Kmet. Somehow the magic remains. What? May looking to throw in 3rd and 6. Rolling left. Gonna take it himself. And that will do it. A first down carry. It's a gain of 7. And the Patriots have booked their ticket to Santa Clara. Zeros on the clock. The Seattle Seahawks, for the first time since 2014, are your NFC champion. Hello, everybody, and welcome Tuesday night UFL action. A bit weird, bit off, but we're here nonetheless. Week 2 is wrapping up tonight with the Battlehawks taking on the Renegades. Austin Reed trying to build off of that record-setting performance he had last week against the Gamblers. Seeing if he can do something similar against this Battlehawks team. I don't expect the exact same type of performance, but if he can have still a similar-ish performance, I think is always going to be good there. St. Louis looking to build off of that great second half they had against DC last week, but still all around pretty rough showing, especially the offense. But we'll see how it does again this week against a Dallas defense that played pretty well against Houston last week. Kickoff moments away. Welcome on in, everyone. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. You see, it's Tuesday Night Football, but during the college season, we're used to this with the MAC. The MAC conference love giving us weekday football. So it's just, the UFL is just playing into that a bit. And honestly, I'm here for it. Obviously, if it wasn't for the men's basketball national championship being last night, this game probably would have been Monday night. But instead, it's Tuesday night. Either way, should still be some fun action. Yeah, I do love myself some MAC action when that rolls around in the fall for Tuesday and Wednesday nights. So I'm fine with a one-off Tuesday game. It kind of makes me think back to the COVID year for the NFL when there was a Wednesday night game in that year, which is also pretty fun because I'm pretty sure that was a Steelers-Ravens game that was Wednesday night. But yeah, kickoff moments away. I expect it's going to be tough for this game to top Birmingham and Houston from Sunday. But I feel like it could. I feel like this could be another one of those very competitive, comes down to the very end games. We'll say just a brief look we've gotten at the St. Louis away uniforms. It looks okay. Hakeem Butler makes his season debut tonight. That's going to be good. That's going to be big for that St. Louis offense. Hakeem Butler being back in action. It's going to be fun to watch him, hopefully. But there's your main target now for Brandon Silvers. There's your main target. So we'll see. We shall see. Kickoff moments away. We shall see. At a commercial break as we await for the opening kick. Honestly, I would imagine like if I'm St. Louis, I want the ball first. Force Dallas to play in a deficit for the first time this season. See how they handle that. And also just try and get your offense on the field quick. Get them into a rhythm quick. I feel like it could work. But really, who knows until we actually get to the action. They were showing the DC Columbus game right before this from Friday night, and man, that was certainly one way to start a week. We have kickoff moments away. Welcome on in. And also, like with the NFL, with the upcoming NFL season, the year begins on a Wednesday night this year because of the Australia game. So this is not going to be the first or the last time we're getting middle of the week action from a professional football league. But we shall see. All right, just getting back from the initial commercial break. Kickoff should be happening here soon, I would imagine. Yeah, and I believe both of these teams are scheduled to play on Sunday next week, so they're gonna have in theory proper rest in the same way that like a team that plays Thursday will have proper rest from their previous Sunday matchup. All right, Dallas will be getting the ball first in this one. In fact, I think they might have get a day extra rest compared to teams playing on Thursday Night Football. But yeah, also I believe both teams also play at home next week, so that's gonna help them out with some extra rest. Don't have to travel that much. Technically, even though I'm pretty sure like all teams are like hubbed in Dallas and then travel out to the respective cities. Yep, the Renegades will get the ball first in this. Yeah, both teams play at home on Sunday in week 3, so that they're gonna be getting fine rest. All right, teams are lined up. Back to return for Dallas is Day Hunter, who's also making his season debut for the Renegades. So this is a Renegades offense that was already playing really well last week, and they're just getting more and more pieces back for this team. As Deontay Burnett is also scheduled to make his season debut today. All right, St. Louis set to send this one down. In a definitely feels more packed Toyota Stadium. We'll see how it looks as the first quarter progresses, basically. Yeah, they definitely have more of a crowd at kickoff compared to what they did last week. Even in last week, they still filled out that stadium pretty nice towards the end. We'll see how it is this week. Kickoff underway. Going to bounce and be returned beginning from the 5. Space out past the 20, out past the 25, past the 30, and out of bounds at about the 32. It was Ajeen Harris on the return, and out comes Austin Reed. Again, had a record-setting performance in his debut last week, going for 376 yards on pretty good efficiency. See if he can continue it into tonight's game. As we're starting on their own 32, Reed under center, back behind him. 2 receiving options to each side. First play of the game, going to be a play action looking to throw. Reed with some time. Pass right side, caught with space, up past midfield to about the St. Louis 49. Drake Stoops on the grab. And one play puts the Renegades past midfield. Dallas is one of those teams where I want to see them run the ball a bit more. But it's not like a necessity as some of the other teams in this league because their passing offense was so electric last week. It's not like a Louisville situation where it feels like they need to run the ball to find success at this point because their passing game ain't doing anything. Reed and shotgun going to hand this off right side, and there's space up past the 40. Going to be another first down pickup. It is Elias Merriweather on the carry. Gain of roughly 11 up to roughly the 36. Maybe 35, depending on where they rule it. All right, Reed and shotgun back to his left, looking to throw in 1st and 10. Has some time, dump off right side's caught. Makes one man miss, trying to find some space up to about the 30 is Tyler Vaughn's on the reception. All right, solid opening drive to begin this one. And Tyler Vaughn had a massive game last week, trying to build off of it again this week. Reed in shotgun, back to his right, 3 receivers to the right as well, looking to throw once again. Has some time, pass right side, going to be off the mark and incomplete, looking for Drake Stoops on just a check down. Not much room, 3rd and 4 coming up. He's doing a good job feeling the pocket early on in this, again, making sure to get the ball out pretty quick. And not letting St. Louis's front 7 control this game like they were able to last week against DC. Reed and shotgun back to his left, 2 receiving options to each side, 3rd and 4. Play action looking to throw. Pass over the middle is caught by Vaughns. Has space inside the 10 and tripped up to the 7. Tyler Vaughns. Just continuing the performance he had last week, playing well. 1st and goal for Dallas coming up. Oh, and Pita Tamupandu going to be seeing the sideline for this play, taking a little breather right as his 1st and goal. This is typically the moment you want him in. Reed in shotgun, and there's going to be a stoppage before the snap as the play clock was winding down. And Dallas will burn their first timeout on the opening drive. All right. Don't love to see that, but when the offense is moving as effective as it is, you can kind of take it as it is. First and goal, 12 minutes to play in the first quarter. Part of it is these teams you like to go somewhat up tempo and they don't really huddle up in the same degree that NFL teams do. Another part of it is there is a continuously running clock in this league. So until we get to inside 2 minutes, no matter what happens, no matter what the play is, as long as it's not a change of possession, the clock's gonna run. So like a 7-play drive in the NFL that would last 5 minutes. It's gonna last 7 or so minutes here. Reed in shotgun, back to his right, looking to throw in 1st and goal. Pass for the end zone, wide open. Touchdown Dallas, Tyler Vaughns. Capping off a great opening drive, and the Dallas Renegades take the early lead. Yeah, the running clock is one of those things that you don't realize it unless like you're paying insane attention to the clock, which you don't do until you're under 2 minutes anyway. Really kind of under 5 minutes. But yeah, it's just essentially they don't really huddle up to the same degree. There are some teams that do, like I think Birmingham does, at least they did. DC's another one of those teams that did. St. Louis was when AJ McCarron was the quarterback. Yeah, for the most part, it's kind of like it's a pro offense that follows a college mindset to a degree. As the extra point is wide left, it remains a 6-point Dallas lead. It's offenses that find that middle ground between being pure college and pure NFL that TD seems like to run, and thus you have upper tempo, but not necessarily a no huddle offense, but still just an up tempo offense. As we're at commercial break after the Dallas opening drive. Also, starting field position is a lot better in the UFL compared to the NFL. Teams more so start in between their own 30 to 40 in the UFL. In the NFL is more so 25 to 35, so that extra 5 yards can make a drive feel a little quicker. Yep, at commercial break. Yeesh. St. Louis's opening drive is going to need to be a good one because with how easily Dallas moved the ball down the field we might be in for a shootout in Dallas. Because this St. Louis offense, especially if the St. Louis offense can't get pressure in, might be not offense. If the St. Louis defense can't get pressure, it might be a long day for St. Louis. But it's an offense that now has their main playmaker back in Akeem Butler. Not necessarily main playmaker, but main red zone and third down option. So hopefully they can extend drives a bit more. We'll see. Just coming back from commercial break. Dallas set to send this one away. And yep, they're highlighting Hakeem Butler. He has pretty much become the face of St. Louis of the Battlehawks, especially after McCarron left after 2024, and now Anthony Beck has left. It's going to be Hakeem Butler as the main dude. Kickoff can be returned beginning from the 3, space out past the 25, past the 30 to about the 33. So St. Louis will start from there. And out comes Brandon Silvers and the St. Louis offense for the first time tonight. Yeah, the offensive player of the year last year, Hakeem Butler, making his season debut. What's he got? Because he's another one of the, as with most of St. Louis, I would say, it was at least last year. It was a team that was starting to show its age, and Hakeem Butler is one of those guys. But there's still a team that you can pretty much rely on being competitive in games. Silver's alone in shotgun, 3 receiving options to the left, 2 to the right. Going to look to throw in 1st and 10. Silvers with plenty of time, pass right, sides off the mark and incomplete. Trying to get it to Hakeem Butler on the opening play, but he got stood up a bit there on that press coverage. So 2nd and 10 coming up. I like the first play, get it to Akeem mindset, but you're gonna have to make sure he's open before you force it over there. Because while yeah, you can catch most of the 50-50 balls, it's still you don't want to only throw those. Silver's once again alone in shotgun. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Looking to throw once again. Pass right side low and incomplete. Looking for Jacor Pearson. Now 3rd and 10 for St. Louis coming up. Yeah, rough start. Rough start. Silver's in shotgun, back to his right. 2 receivers to each side, looking to throw once again. Silver's with some time, pass over the middle, it's intercepted! Return past the 40, spinning his way inside the 35 to the 34. A terrible start to this game for St. Louis. It's the former Battlehawk, Quinterio Cole, with the interception. So 3 pass attempts to start this game and an interception to boot. Going for Akeem Butler over the middle. He has a step. Pass is just behind. Oh, yeah, he's open. Akeem Butler is open with space to run, but Brandon Silvers put it way too far behind Butler. If that's in stride, Butler has space due to a safety slipping. Yeah, that's a tough way for this game to start. Dallas now on the St. Louis 34-yard line, looking to capitalize. Now, again, St. Louis has other guys in that quarterback room. Brandon Silvers now, I mean, I think you give him at least another drive or two, but yeah. Reed in shotgun, looking to throw in 1st and 10. Pass left side, tipped, and that's incomplete. Nearly a one-handed interception. There is a penalty marker down. Nearly a grade one-handed interception from Daniel Isom. What's the penalty, though? Broadcast didn't necessarily show anything there for an intercept, for a penalty. See what the field position is. Are they gonna say that's on St. Louis? Yeah, defensive holding, I believe, is a penalty. It's now Dallas ball on the St. Louis 29. Reed in shotgun, back to his left. Going to hand this off up the middle, and that's a loss of about a yard. I mean, with how Dallas plays offensively, you never know if all those pass attempts may result in one. As that was Day Hunter on the carry. I mean, hold him to a field goal, keep it a 1-score game. You're feeling okay, but that's a rough start. Reed in shotgun, back to his right, 2 receivers to each side. Play clock winding down. To get the snap off in time as Reed looks to throw. Pressure coming, pass tipped at the line and incomplete. 3rd and 10 coming up. Third and 10. Again, they're in field. I mean, are they in field goal range though? The kicker just missed the extra point. Reed in shotgun, back to his left. 2 receivers to each side. 3rd and 10 from roughly the 29.5-yard line. Reed to throw. Pass over the middle. Tipped and incomplete. Another near incredible dive-in interception for the St. Louis defense. But instead it falls incomplete. This time Jordan Mosley nearly has the pick. And Dallas technically goes 3 and out. Oh, he controls that ball for a good while on that dive, just at the end, unable to fully corral it. So out comes the field goal unit, 48-yard kick from the right hash for Colton Feeker. He just missed the extra point not long ago. Kick is up, and this is right down the middle. 9-point Dallas lead. 8:28 to play in the first quarter, and we'll see the St. Louis offense once again. Yeah. But again, the St. Louis defense is a defensive unit that you can have a lot of faith in. The question is just, you're going to need your own offense to step up at some point, because otherwise your defense will get too tired. Yep, at commercial break. Okay, the St. Louis defense has always been one that you can have. Always been one that you can trust for a good majority of stuff. Like, even dating back to like 2024, it's always been the offensive struggles that then have caused him to fail in the playoffs. But now, how do you bounce back from the interception on the opening drive is the question. Because it was not a great throw from Brandon Silvers. I imagine he's going to be seeing the field again. I don't think he has shown enough to go away from him just yet. Even with the other talent that's in that quarterback room. More especially Michael Pratt. But we'll see. First, this commercial break. 8:28 to play in the first quarter. All right, just coming back from commercial break. There's highlighted Taco Charlton for this Dallas defense, who is one of many former Dolphins to find a home in the UFL this year. Also one of many former first-round picks. As kickoff is underway, going to be returned beginning from the 5, face out past the 20, past the 25, and can be brought down around the 27. Yeah, Brandon Silvers taking the field once again. All right, what do you have for us? What do you have? Silvers in shotgun, back to his right, 3 receivers to the right as well. First play of the drive, a handoff up the middle. That's going to get 5, maybe 6 for Jarvion Howard. Solid carry. See if they can keep up these. See if they keep up these. Okay, to me, 4-yard carries are like the bread and butter, what you want. And then like 3-yard carries is like the type of run play that both teams can agree is like, yeah, that's whatever. Silvers in shotgun, back to his right after the gain of 5. Silvers quick pass left side, caught for the first, a gain of roughly 6. Blake Jackson on the reception. And that's the first down of the night for St. Louis. And yeah, there's AJ Smith. it is funny how they list last year as a offensive coordinator year for AJ Smith in the UFL, even though I don't think he coached a single game for San Antonio last year due to disagreements between him and funny enough the UFL. Quick pass right side, going to be a gain of about 5 or 6 once again for St. Louis. And that is Jacquard Pearson on the reception. So 2nd and 4 coming up. Ruled at a gain of 6. Yeah. Well, because they're keeping it simpler already. And Hakeem Butler's on the sideline. So I feel like that's part of it. Is like when Hakeem Butler's on the field, Brandon Silvers might feel like trying to force it to him a bit more because he is that big-bodied option that you can trust more often than not. Instead of letting the play be the play, he's primarily looking towards one guy. Silver's looking to throw in 2nd and 4. Pass over the middle is wide open for Kevon Latulis. Inside the 45 to about the 42. St. Louis past midfield now for the first time this game. Dallas tried sending pressure, and they left way too much space over the middle. All right, 1st and 10. Silvers in shotgun, back to his left. 2 receivers to each side. And there's movement up front before the snap. Going to be a false start against St. Louis. 1st and 15 coming up. Six minutes to go in the first. Clock continuing to run. Silvers in shotgun, back to his right. 2 receivers to each side, man in motion left to right. And there's some more movement up front before the snap. Is it enough to go St. Louis's way? A Dallas player jumped a tiny bit, but wasn't enough to make this back to a 1st and 10. It is going to be neutral zone infraction against Dallas. So right back to a 1st and 10. Teams are trading 5 yards right now. All right. Silvers in shotgun, looking to throw in 1st and 10. Dump off right side, going to be a gain of 3 up to the 40. Blake Jackson on the reception. Yeah, again, they're simplifying the offense right now. Second and 7 coming up. Silvers in shotgun, back to his right. 2 receivers to each side. Ball on the Dallas 40. 5 minutes ago in the first quarter. Silvers has some time. Pass in deep, left side for Hakeem Butler. In the bucket, inside the 5 to the 3. Welcome back, last year's Offensive Player of the Year. It's a gain of 37. And makes it 1st and goal St. Louis. There we go. He just has a way to get behind the defense somehow. Like, there should be no reason he's able to sneak behind the defense like the way he does. And then for Silvers to lay that pass beautifully as well, it is perfect. Like, that is a perfect 1-2. So they're saying officially it's 1st and goal from the 5. We're going to have St. Louis calling the first time out as the play clock is winding down. So it's a gain of 35 for Hakeem Butler. All right, since we got a timeout, I'm going to quickly take care of something. Yeah, my YouTube TV is starting to buffer a bit too much. I'm going to get back connected to the Ethernet. Should be good. All right, first and goal, St. Louis. I mean, depending on how aggressive they want to be here, they can tie the game on this drive. I doubt they're going to be that aggressive, but it would be fun. All right, Silvers and shotgun back to his left. Two receiving options to each side. Touch pass left side. Going to get to about the 2 or 3 for Blake Jackson. All right, don't hate it. Second and goal coming up. So second and goal. Silvers and shotgun back to his left. 3 receiving options to the right. Pass left side. Akeem Butler, a little high and incomplete. Going for that good old goal line fade that everyone loves so much. And it's third and goal. Steven Jones, who had the pick 6 last week for Dallas, in good coverage there against Akeem Butler. Argument for a penalty, but oh yeah, he never turns his head. I would engage in an argument there about it. But now third and goal. Play clock winding down. Silvers and shotgun back to his left. 2 receiving options to each side. They get that. There's a stoppage. Late substitution's going to force St. Louis to call their second timeout already. With 3:17 to play in the first quarter, the Battlehawks are down to 1 timeout. That is not good. That is some Miami Dolphins BS right there. That whole sequence from the touch pass to the goal line fade to burning a timeout, that is peak Miami Dolphins football from last year. So third and goal from roughly the 3. All right, Silvers and shotgun back to his left. 3 receiving options to the right. Man in motion right to left. Handoff up the middle for Jarvion Howard. And he is down to the 1. Thanks to some second effort push in there. There is a penalty on the play as well. It's a penalty against St. Louis. I don't think I've ever seen that symbol before. Illegal substitution against the Battlehawks. So we're going to get another third down try here. I think it'll be another third and goal from like the 8th this time. Yeah. It's less plain sloppy and just, being a little bit too obvious. Like that sequence, you probably could find a very similar sequence to that in a Dolphins game from the past 4 years. So it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, you have a big-bodied receiving option. You're gonna only have him on a goal line fade because duh. Oh, you have a speedy slot receiver. Well, if he goes in motion, just have someone instantly attack him and kind of corral him. And then the other one's like, oh yeah, you have a decent enough power back. Let's just send 3 into the gaps. Like you have to do something else besides all that. As Pierre is taking a look at something here, hold on. What are we doing? Coaches are talking to the officials. What's happening? Oh, Dallas has declined the penalty. That's what it was. Okay. I didn't realize you could decline illegal substitution. So out comes the field goal unit for St. Louis now. Solid drive that gets down to roughly the 1, but stalls out. So Tucker McCain on for the field goal try. What's Pierre saying now? Yeah, just talking about them declining it. 20-yard kick from the left hash for St. Louis to get on the board in this game. 3 minutes to play in the first. Kick is up. And it is good. Sneaks through the left upright. All right, it's back to a 6-point Dallas lead. And we'll see what this offense can do once again after stalling out on the previous drive. First, a commercial break. First, a commercial break. Not bad, not bad. All right, 3 minutes to play. Kickoff coming up here soon. Finally a good drive for St. Louis. It just can't quite punch it in because they took a page out of Miami's playbook and ran maybe not the 3 greatest plays to run there. But like it's still smarter than when Miami runs those because they're not throwing a goal line fade to a 5'10" receiver. They're throwing it to Akeem Butler, who's like 6'6". So like they have the advantage on that goal line fade. It just wasn't a great pass and also was pretty good coverage from Stephen Jones. So like I don't hate it the same way I hated when Miami ran it. It's still not my favorite thing, but at least it makes more sense there. Yep, add commercial break. This Dallas offense didn't do the greatest on the last drive. Maybe he can do something here. Yeah, and luckily Hakeem Butler is one of those guys that you can classify as a freak receiver. But it's still not a high percentage throw because more often than not, you need a near perfect throw for the goal line fade to work because of how tight the coverage is going to be naturally. That's why I'm never a fan of it. Kickoff underway. Going to be returned beginning from the 5. Space up past the 20, past the 25, and brought down at around the 30, depending on forward progress. They'll welcome in. Yeah. There's 3 South Florida teams playing right now. Like all 3 of the other South Florida teams are playing right now. Panthers are leading. Heat are down to the Raptors. The Marlins. Yeah. I mean, you never know with hockey how quickly a team could score. You're never truly out of it. Read play action, looking to throw in 1st and 10. Pass left side, wide open. Base pass midfield, past the 40. Ball comes loose now, but Dallas has it around the 35 somehow. It's Tyler Vaughn's on the reception and Ellis Merriweather on the fumble recovery. Nearly a great play from the St. Louis defense. They have come close to 3 turnovers now in this game. But Tyler Vaughn's absolutely loses his man. What? He put him on skates there. Jeez. But 1st and 10 from the St. Louis 35. Quick pass right side for Austin Reed. Has space to about the 30 before stepping out of bounds. That is Denzel Mims on the reception. All right. Nice. Yeah, I had a small dinner before stream. It's one of those weeks where, due to this being a Tuesday night game, one of those weeks where I don't really have the time to go out, which is fine. So I'm just eating the stuff I have here. Read in shotgun, looking to throw in 2nd and 4. Rolling left, passing back right side. It is high and incomplete. Might as well be chalked up as a throwaway towards Denzel Mims. So 3rd and 4 coming up. Oh, jeez. Well, hell yeah. Get in. I assume that's not all the money back that you were missing, but at least getting 1K. That's nice. Reed in shotgun, looking to throw in 3rd and 4. Quick pass right side, going to be caught by Tyler Vaughns. And the second effort, going to get just enough for the first. They keep chains moving. 50-ish seconds to play in the first quarter. Yeah, and that's still is a hell of a lot better than nothing. Reed in shotgun, back behind him, 2 receivers to each side. Potentially the final play of the first quarter. Handoff left side, going to be met behind the line, but able to stumble his way back to the line of scrimmage for no gain. I believe that was Ellis Merriweather on the carry once again. Yeah. And yep, they're going to let this clock run to the end of the first. It's always good to get unexpected money. I'm lining up internships right now as the semester is coming to an end soon in like a month. And I'm gonna try and go back to where I interned last year, but this time have it be a paid internship. We'll see though. Again, even if not, I'm still whatever with it. Yeah, that's the end of the first 15 minutes in the books. Second quarter underway after this commercial break. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be. I don't know, it's gonna be an interesting and also weird summer because this gonna be my last summer where this is gonna be my last summer before I graduate college, ideally. So like it's gonna be like just gonna be all around just a weird feeling, but still a summer feeling. Hell yeah. Even though like for some time now, like the summer has just been like the bulk of the summer has just been covering football. But like yeah, it's gonna be something. I'm just happy that I get one more NFL season while in school to be able to just not have to worry too much about that end of things. I get one more full NFL season before going to be entering the workforce. So I get to like build a proper system with that. That way, for the following years, it's a little more streamlined. Which I've started that process with this season, obviously, of the UFL because most of the stuff transfers over. But yeah, still at commercial break, waiting for the start of the second quarter. We're getting some TV ratings. Yeah, the Kings and Orlando game did not bring in a lot of TV stuff, but at least DC Columbus kind of did. I'm gonna be very curious about Sunday night's TV ratings. Because that game being on the NFL Network is going to be interesting to see how they handle it. That's, yeah. Just coming back from commercial break. But there's also like I feel like each day is like international and national something day, so it's just hard to keep track of them all. Read the throw in 2nd and 10. Dump off right side in the backfield. DeMeriwether is gonna lose about 3. All right, so 3rd and 13 or so coming up for Dallas. Nice. They're saying 3rd and 12. Reed in shotgun, back to his left, 2 receivers to each side. Ball on the St. Louis 27-yard line. Making some adjustments at the line here. Play clock winding down at 6 seconds. To get the snap off in time as Reed looks to throw. Pressure coming, stepping up, takes it himself inside the 20, brought down around the 17. There is a penalty though. As it sits, it'll be 4th and 2 or so for Dallas. This might be coming back some more though. Let's see, what do the refs have to say here? I imagine this is on. Yeah, it's holding against Dallas. So it's going to be a 3rd and 22 coming up. Let's see, how clear was this? Yeah, honestly, it was like 2 or 3 holding penalties they could have called in that play. So yeah, that's clean. It's fine. 3rd and 22. Honestly, if they can push him back even more, we're talking about a potential 4-point field goal here. Reed going to quick pass this right side, trying to hook and ladder. Gets about 2 or 3. Not going to be anywhere near enough for the first. Tyler Vaughn's on the initial reception. Drake Stoops catching the lateral. It's a 4th and 19 coming up in a long field goal try for Dallas. I believe Dallas ran that last week as well. Might have been a team from earlier this week that ran. But I love how much the hook and ladder is getting involved in play calling across football. It's just a fun play. When it works, it is beautiful. When it fails, it is hilarious. 52-yard kick from the right hash for Colton Feeker to bring Dallas's lead back up to 9. Kick is up, and it is doinked off the right upright. No good. Had plenty of leg, but it doinks, and St. Louis remains down by 6 with some pretty good starting field position coming up for Brandon Silvers. I believe he was a Rams player. It's hard to keep track of all the preseason legends across the teams. Like I know Miami's pretty well. I remember last year, Houston had Reed Sinnett for like a week. That was fun to watch him. Even though he didn't do the greatest. Yeah. I mean, again, like they're alone, like the amount of preseason legends are in this league. It's fun, and then for those fan bases, it's probably good to see them play again. Again, the hope is to get them back to the league. Yep, at commercial break. They're mine as well. There was a Quentin Bell, who's I believe still on Miami's roster. Here's another one from 2 years ago that was really fun. Who was It was another I can't remember right now from like a year or so ago. So, thank you for bringing up the Gamblers because it was announced today that they're signing a former Canadian Football League MVP quarterback or maybe like championship winning quarterback to the roster. It seems like we're not going to be getting good news on Hunter Deckers going forward, sadly. Obviously, we'll wait until injury reports and all that throughout the week, but considering that he was pretty quickly ruled out at halftime on Sunday, not the greatest of signs. We'll see, but it seemed like it's going to be Nolan Henderson going forward in Houston. And then, even then, the backup would be Paolo Tagovailoa, so we'll see. Yeah, I'm going to be mentioning it again probably during predictions, not necessarily power rankings. Yeah, it's unfortunate because Deckers was playing pretty well, but at the same time, Nolan Henderson, he really showed improvement from week 1 to week 2. So I think Houston will be fine either way. It's just, yeah, like losing Deckers and all that, it sucks. Hans McClutch, that's great. Silver's in shotgun, back to his left, 2 receivers to each side, man in motion, right to left. Gonna hand this off right side for Jarvion Howard, who gets 3-ish on the play. Yeah. Again, we'll see. There's a chance he's not out for the entire season, but he's at least, it seems like he's gonna miss some time though, which is just unfortunate. But I don't. I also think now this probably is more likely he'll be back next year. Whereas if he started and played well the entire year, an NFL team was gonna pick him up. Silver's quick pass left side, gonna have some space out past midfield and enough for the first gain of roughly 7. Jarvion Howard on the reception. St. Louis continuing to move. Silver's in shotgun, back to his right. Going to look to throw in 1st and 10. Has some time, dump off left side, gonna be caught with space, all past the 45, past the 40. And brought down right around the 39.5-yard line. Blake Jackson on the reception. St. Louis moving a lot better than they did on the opener. Gain of 8 on that one. I'm like, the bid can still continue as well with Houston. Well, yeah, it's not like as perfect as it was. At the same time, they are still the Gamblers. All right. Yeah, it's more so a 2nd and 3, just calling it a 2nd and 2. Silver's in shotgun, going to hand this off left side for Jarvion Howard. Good stiff arm to make one man miss and diving forward for the first. And a part of me is so close to just calling Brandon Silvers Brandon Fields because that's just where my mind goes to for the first name Brandon and football player because of the Dolphins and Brandon Fields being a punter for so long in Miami. Silver's in shotgun, back to his right, 3 receivers to the right as well. Ball on the Dallas 36-yard line. Quick pass left side, going to be caught inside the 30. Trying to break off one tackler, but going to be brought down by the jersey as Akeem Butler on the grab and a gain of 6. All right, not bad. I mean, yeah, if you're going to play that far off coverage, they're going to give it to Butler 10 times out of 10 there. Yeah, he grabbed the undershirt and damn near ripped it off. As Silver's in shotgun, back to his right, looking to throw in 2nd and 7. Pass over the middle, wide open but dropped. Blake Jackson, the intended target. Pass a little high and a little behind. 3rd and 3 coming up. That's when you have to connect on. There's so much space to run there. You have to make that throw. Just have to. Yeah, no, there's too much space there to not put that on the money. Yeah, there's a little pressure coming up, but you gotta be able to make that. It's a tough miss. Silvers in shotgun back to his right. 3 receivers to the right as well. Gonna roll right and look to throw. Pass towards the sideline is low and incomplete. Looking for Jacquard Pearson. Might have been a little behind as well, as Gene Harris was the defender in coverage. And now it's a 4th and 3 for St. Louis. And seemingly out comes the field goal unit. No, the offense on the field. Hold on. Silvers in shotgun back to his left. 3 receivers to the right. They only have 1 timeout, so it's going to be... Probably actually are going to go with this. Man in motion right to left. Silvers looking to throw. Has some time, rolling right to buy more. Pump faking, trying to buy some time. Pass right side, it's bobbled and incomplete. Looking for Justin Smith on that right side. It's Steven Jones in coverage. And the Battlehawks turn it over on downs. Off. Yeah, he doesn't have clean possession there. Nearly catches it off the bobble, but unable to maintain possession through the ground. We go to commercial break. Yep, at commercial break. About 9 minutes to play in the first half. Yeah, it's been a solid game so far. Some good defensive plays. Offense is moving okay. But we shall see how this one continues. St. Louis gets ball to begin the second half, so they're in a decent spot here, depending on what the defense can do. We shall see. Since we're at this brief commercial break, I want to quickly say if you are new, subscribe. It'd be greatly appreciated. Slowly approaching 600 subscribers. About 2 away at this point. Subscribe, greatly appreciated. Going live with basically every single UFL game over the course of this season. 42 of the 43 possible. When the NFL rolls around in the fall, going live with about 5 games a week there as well. Every single Dolphin game, every single primetime game, and depending on the NFL scheduling, gonna fit in as many other ones as I can in between. So stick around, be greatly appreciated. Waiting for this commercial break to get back, and we'll see what Dallas's offense can do on this next drive. Still up by 6, and there we go, back from commercial break, showing that St. Louis sideline as they're going over that 4th down play. And I get the play call of just cut the field in half, get Brandon Silvers get Brandon Silvers moving there, make it an easy decision. It's just Dallas covers it well on the back end. But another case of like not having Akeem Butler on the field, interesting. Because that's the type of situation where you would want him on the field. Just be that big body target along the sideline that you can just try and fit it into, because he's probably going to have the leverage. But oh well. Reed and shotgun, a back to each side. Ball on their own 29-yard line. Running back in motion right to left as Reed going to pass this over the middle. It's a bit behind and incomplete. Another almost interception for this St. Louis defense. That's their 3rd of the night. Well, technically 2nd, because the first one would have been called back for a penalty anyway. It's 2nd and 10 for Dallas. They've had so many almost forced turnovers. Like, yeah, those interceptions would have taken incredible catches, but still, it's tough. Reed under center, back behind him. Handoff up the middle on 2nd and 10. Has space for Day Hunter up to about the 40, maybe the 41. Either way is enough for the first down on the gain of 11 or 12. It's good to see Day Hunter back on the field. He was electric to watch last year. And then to see him back after missing last week, he's going to be the piece that takes his Dallas running game to that next level to be able to match what we saw from the passing game last week and truly make this a dangerous team. Just get him into a rhythm, and this Dallas offense could compete with anyone. Reed going to give this to Hunter once again, this time right side in their space. It's going to be a foot race, the 25-20, 15-10, and out of balance at the 8. Day Hunter, welcome back, making his season debut and instantly making an impact. Oh, it's good to see his speed back on the field. And just like that, that's a roughly 40-yard carry for Day Hunter. It's just, it opens another lane for this Dallas offense. That is too good. So officially saying first and goal from the 10. Handoff left side. And that's going to lose about two. Going for Day Hunter once again. Unable to get much room on that one. It is Levante Bentley on the tackle for loss. But either way, you're now well into field goal range, can extend this lead easily as long as you don't make a dumb mistake on your own end. Reed in shotgun back to his left, and there's going to be a timeout called. With 6:52 to play in the first half, St. Louis is all out of timeouts. And we head to a commercial break. This St. Louis timeout management has not been great. Yeah, Levante Bentley did go to Colorado. I don't remember much from his time there because I wasn't like actively watching. I wasn't active. I'm not like an avid college football watcher. I watch the games that are on, obviously, but like I don't go out of my way until we get to like the draft season. Then I like look at a few guys. I did see him go against UCF though, and as did most of Colorado that day. He played well. We're at commercial break. About 6:25 to go in the first half. Again, St. Louis being out of timeouts already is not great. Not great, but one way or another, they're gonna have to be able to use those. At least they're not storing them for next game like we've seen other coaches do in the past. Yeah, every time the Renegades play, they have this visit Texas commercial that plays. And it always just for some reason it reminds me about the old Texas Rangers ballpark where they had that grass in dead center that you can run onto. It was always fun to see those type of clips. Sucks that when they went to the new stadium, they don't allow that anymore. Second and goal for Dallas from the St. Louis 12-yard line. More so 6:52 to play in the half, to be exact. Reed in shotgun. Back behind him, a tight end in the backfield to his left. Going to look to throw. Quick pass right side. Going to be caught. Makes one man miss and has a blocker. Inside the 5. Diving forward and in. Touchdown Dallas. Extending this lead. Greg Ward on the quick hitter. And it's a 12-point Renegade lead. So a really a great opening drive, 2 okay drives after that. And then they capitalize off of the failed fourth down try of St. Louis. And also thanks to an incredible run from Day Hunter, they make this a 12, potentially soon to be 13-point lead. This Dallas offense is going to be so fun to watch this year. They're going for 2. And they're in the Wildcat. Ward gets a direct snap, pass right side, wide open. The conversion try is good. Oh, I love seeing the Wildcat in action. Seth Green on the reception from Greg Ward makes this a 14-point Renegade lead now. Yeah, St. Louis is still fine. Again, the offense has been moving well. They get ball to begin the second half, so they have a chance to double up here. This game can easily be tied by the next time Dallas gets the ball back. But they're going to need their offense to really step up. Yeah, this Dallas offense has just been too good. .644 to go in the half. Again, St. Louis with no timeouts. Gonna put this offense in a bit of a pickle here to get a decent drive going. As yeah, that stadium has really filled up over the course of a quarter and a half. Kickoff underway, going to be returned beginning from the goal line. Face out past the 20, past the 25, out past the 30 to about the 31. St. Louis will start from there. 6:35 to play in the half. Yeah, Dallas is filling up that stadium well now. And have with how good of a performance they had last week, they needed to fill up the stadium a bit more tonight. And even with it being a Tuesday night, the stadium is filling up well. Silvers alone in shotgun, 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right, ball on their own 30 or so. Quick pass right side, going to be caught for a gain of roughly 6. And that is Akeem Butler on the reception, it seems. I ruled in the gain of 7. For the most part, I agree. They found some really solid cities. I'm still not sure about Orlando or Houston. Though we will see when Houston plays at home again next, how they fill up that stadium. Quick pass right side for Pearson. Going to get it enough for the first, a gain of about 4 or 5. Or Orlando, I'm not sure about. Houston, I'll give another week or so, since they just beat Birmingham and looked well in that win. I'm curious how they're going to fill up that next home game. But Orlando, I'm not too sure how much longer that one will last. If Orlando makes the playoffs and is still struggling to fill up that stadium most of the season, it's not going to be a great sign. Silvers in shotgun, back to his right, 2 receivers to each side, looking to throw in 1st and 10. Has some time, dump off right side, a little bit low, a little bit too far inside, and incomplete for Jarvion Howard. Yeah, and that's true. It's just, yeah, Houston has just needed a winner if they're going to fill up during the UFL, and, I mean, seemingly, they got one. But, even, more like, the past 2 years for the Roughnecks, it was not great in Houston, and part of it is just, they were playing in Rice Stadium, or TDECU stadiums, like college stadiums. Yeah, they weren't the greatest. Silvers dump off left side, a halfback screen for Jarvion Howard, only going to get about 3, so a 3rd and 7 coming up. Houston plays in DC next week. If they can beat the Defenders, there is 0 excuses for that stadium not to be packed for their Week 4 game against Louisville. All right, Silver's in shotgun, back behind them. 3 receivers to the right. 3rd and roughly 8. Then you get just past midfield to move the chains. Silver's to throw. Has some time. Pass over the middle is well behind and incomplete. Looking for Jagcore Pearson, and that never had a chance of being caught. So St. Louis once again goes 3 and out. Not great. I forget what I did for predictions. Because typically, like during a normal week, tonight would be the night I start like thinking of the next week's predictions. But I should still have. Punt comes off clean. Gonna be fair caught at the 20. Like for this game, what did I say? I picked Dallas. Okay, cool. I believe I'm 1 and 2 currently. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Still in that feeling out period. Head into a commercial break. About 4 minutes to play in the first half. Solid game so far for Dallas. St. Louis, they've had their moments, but for the most part, it has looked a bit rough. For the most part, it's been rough. Yep, add commercial break. All right. 4 minutes to go in the half. Unless St. Louis makes a quick stand here, it's gonna be rough for them. It's gonna be rough. Still at commercial break. All right, just getting back from commercial break here. What you got, Dallas? Extending this lead before the half, making it 3 possessions, or St. Louis can have a chance to double up once again. So again, with the key thing from Dallas so far in this game is they're playing a complete game, unlike last week. Run game is going well, passing game is going well, defense is playing really well. Only facet where you can have a slight issue with is special teams, and that's because they've missed an extra point and have missed a field goal. Aside from that, they're playing a near perfect game. Silver's play action looking to throw in 1st and 10. Pass left side, going to be caught for the first. It's Drake Stoops for the gain of 11. And they keep the chains going. First and 10 coming up. Clock continuing to roll. 3:20 to go in the first half. Reed in shotgun. Back behind him, a tight end to his right. Ball on their own 31-yard line. Play clock winding down. 2-1 to get the snap off in time as Reed looks to throw. Has some time. Pass left side. Going to be caught for a gain of roughly 9. Up to the 40. It's Tyler Vaughn's on the grab. The biggest difference in St. Louis's play between this week and last week, the front seven is a non-factor in this game. Whereas they got 7 sacks last week. Which that's kind of just a sign. Reed under center, back behind him. 3 receiving options to the right. 2nd and 1, gonna hand this off right side. And gonna stumble forward for a first. The gain of 3 there for Ellis Merriweather. Yeah, Dallas is just controlling the game. The line of scrimmage especially is they're winning that battle with ease. As that will bring us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play in the first half. And yeah, with no timeouts remaining for St. Louis, I doubt to get the ball back in this half, which is going to be a tough look for them. But we will see. So at this commercial break, going to quickly say, a 2-minute warning, subscribe. It'd be greatly appreciated if you are new. Slowly approaching 600 subscribers. So again, greatly appreciated if you do subscribe. Going live with basically every single UFL game, 42 of the 43, including the ones on NFL Network, as there's going to be another one this season later on down the line in week 4. When the NFL rolls around, I'll be live with about 5 games a week in the fall. Every single primetime game, every single Dolphin game, and depending on the NFL scheduling, going to fit in as many other ones as I can in between. So again, subscribe. Be greatly appreciated. Stick around. It's all just good fun here, watching football and enjoying time. Final 2 minutes from Dallas coming up here soon. And we'll see what this Dallas offense can do. It's been, I wouldn't say it's been as bad of a blowout as DC Columbus felt. Because that game, well, yeah, that was a tough watch. It was tough because Columbus had their chances to really to have the lead and do stuff there. In this one, Dallas is just playing better than St. Louis. And while, yes, St. Louis has had their chances, they're not getting stopped. They're not getting stopped due to their own mistakes to the same degree that Columbus was. Yeah, but there's going to be time for the Stallions to get it together. Their defense is still a defensive unit I feel good in, especially that front seven, especially the red zone defense. They're going to win a ton of games this year by just keeping teams out the end zone. The offense is one that, yeah, you want to see kind of get things together a bit better. I think part of it is just the complete overhaul of their running back room and trying to figure that out still. But I think they'll be fine. There's also bad weather on Sunday in Houston, so that probably played a role in some things. We'll see. I think they have a pretty easy opponent next week. Let me double check that. Oh no, they play St. Louis next week. That should be fun. Talk about a bounce back game for both of these teams potentially. That's okay. Well, the week after that, I know they play Orlando, so they're gonna have another pretty easy game on it. With how Orlando's been playing, actually. Reed under center, back behind him. 3 receiving options to the left. Play action, looking to throw in 1st and 10. Has plenty of time. Pass left, sides off the mark and incomplete. Leave looking for Tyler Vaughns along that left side. They want a penalty, nothing down. So 2nd and 10 coming up. Again, that pass protection he has all day to throw back there. It's generally impressive how good this Dallas offensive line is playing. And yeah, no, that's more so hand fighting. I think the refs made a good decision to keep that in. Need to keep that penalty in. Reed gonna hand this off up the middle on 2nd and 10. That gets stuffed at the line for no gain. Ellis Merriweather on the carry, so 3rd and 10 coming up. And the clock stops with 1:42 as there's a St. Louis player down after the play as he got. Can we call that a punch? He kind of got punched in in the groin area after that. That was kind of shocked it's not a penalty there for some after the play theatrics. But oh well. We're heading to a commercial break. A minute 42 to play in the first half. That game's in St. Louis as well. It should be a great one. Now it's both of those teams are going to be in interesting spots entering that game. So I'm excited to see how they show up for it, and especially excited to see how the Dome and that St. Louis fan base shows up for it. It should be a fun one. Yep, at commercial break. There's a few games coming up that I'm excited to see how, kind of just as a whole, how things shape up within attendance, on the field performance, all of it. It's St. Louis, Birmingham's the next one, and then you have St. Louis, DC in week 4. That should be a great atmosphere in DC. That's their home opener in DC as well. That should be a absolute fantastic game, and I'm lucky to be able to be live with that one. It's the second game on that Saturday that I'm iffy about right now, but I will be live for St. Louis, DC for sure on that Saturday. DC Birmingham as well, and in a few weeks, that's another game that I feel like could be interesting. But yeah, in terms of like in the coming days, St. Louis Birmingham's game of the week next week. Especially if it's both teams looking to bounce back. Like if St. Louis gets beat pretty bad in this game and they can't muster up any type of fight, there's gonna be a lot of discussions around St. Louis for next week that are gonna be fun to listen to and fun to see how they respond to. I think none bigger than Brandon Silvers and how he's been playing. We'll see if in the second half, but I think with the expectations that St. Louis has, I think a QB change might be at least floated out there potentially for St. Louis soon. A minute and a half to go in the first half as the clock continues to roll. 3rd and 9 coming up as we're just back from commercial break as well. They break the huddle with 15 seconds on the play clock. Reed in shotgun, back to his right, 3 receivers to the left. Play clock still winding down to get the snap off in time. Reed, quick pass right side, caught for the first. Inside the 45 to the 44. Tyler Vaughns, have yourself a season. Been playing great through 6 quarters so far. Reed in shotgun, back to his right. 3 receivers to the right as well. Looking to throw. Pressure coming. Just going to shovel this one forward. Incomplete. No one really in the area. They might say Ellis Merriweather in the area, but there is going to be a penalty down. As his intentional grounding against Dallas. That's going to push him back. Yeah, the only person that could have been in the area is the running back there, Merriweather, but I think technically he's close enough, but he is engaged in the block more so than anything. Yeah, that's intentional grounding. I picked Dallas for this game. Though that was also about a week ago when I made that pick. Tuesday night games are weird, but they're fun. 54 seconds to go in the half. Dallas has to take a timeout there to avoid a 10-second runoff. So with that, I think Dallas is shaping up for a potential 4-point try here soon. I was going, this was one of the games where I was going back and forth on. More so because of biases than anything, but I was like, wait, no. If you're gonna pick any upset this week, just go with Louisville over Orlando and just pick the obvious one for this game. That's what I did. Those were the 2 games I could have swapped my picks on and still feel fine with. Obviously now in hindsight, movement before the snap. Gonna be, let's see on who though. Thought it looked pretty obvious would be on St. Louis there to make it up 2nd and 15, but we'll see. The refs are discussing this. It's false start against Dallas. 2nd and 25 coming up, and yeah, now you're really looking at a potential 4-point field goal to end the half. Because that's 17-ish yards to get right on that 60-yard mark-ish. I mean, yeah, it's potential. It would be fun to see. Again, we've only had 1 4-point field goal tried this year, and that was DC in week 1. They made it. It was cool. Reed and shotgun, looking to throw in 2nd and 25. Pressure coming, pass is tipped and incomplete. 3rd and 25 coming up. St. Louis is finally starting to get some pressure in as well. But I feel like it's less that they're actually are just getting pressured, and more so that Dallas is in a spot where they need longer developing plays. So thus St. Louis has more time to then work their pass rusher moves. Which come the second half, you're not going to be in the same situation again. So try and make the most of it here. Reed under center, back behind him. Play clock winding down to get the snap off in time. Handoff up the middle for Merriweather. Gonna fight his way for a gain of 4. Alright, and they're gonna let this clock run. They're gonna need to punt it before we get to the halftime. But this is gonna be the halftime score here. As there's going to be a 6-second difference between play clock and game clock. Probably going to call a timeout as well. Yep, 5 seconds remain. It's either delay of game or timeout for Dallas here. Let the clock run. Yeah, they're calling their final timeout. All right. So 4th and 21. I imagine they just try and get a high arcing punt here and let that run the clock and then rally underneath it to force a fair catch. We'll see. 6 seconds remain in the half. They added 1 second back to the clock. We will see. The offense is on the field for Dallas. What's their plan here? I mean, if you go quick enough, you might be able to get out of bounds for the first down. They're on their own 45. Oh yeah, they passed midfield already. They can't punt. So it's a Hail Mary. Reed looking to throw in 4th and 21. Pressure coming quick. Rolling left. There's a deep shot that goes nowhere. It's incomplete, and that's halftime. I completely forgot about the no punting rule past midfield. That made that a very interesting. Okay. If we would have seen a Jets Dolphins Black Friday game from a few years ago, that would have been fun at the end of that half. But 1 half of play remains. St. Louis gets ball to begin the second half, only down by 14. But it's still very much in this. Still a chance for them. But they're going to need a massive second half boost from this offense if they're going to come back in this one. So we shall see. Obviously, there's a chance for it. All right, since we're just getting into halftime, I will quickly be right back. All right, at halftime. At the half. So far, a game that didn't really have a lot of massive expectations to it in terms of just what to like exactly how these guys are going to play. Shaping up to be in a Dallas, just Dallas being a better team, which not that surprising just based off of their last week performances, but still they're moving the ball well. They're more well rounded this week. And a large part of that is the return of Day Hunter to the lineup. He has been great for them. So I'm curious to see how that continues in the second half. But still, though, this is a Dallas offense that has yet to take snaps while at a deficit on the scoreboard. They just know how to get the lead and maintain it. Through 6 quarters, at least, that's been the story. Obviously, we got 2 more to play in this one, but that's impressive. That is impressive. We have at commercial break as we're at halftime. We shall see. St. Louis gets ball to begin the second half. So, and no halftime show for St. Louis this week to try and rally behind like they were able to last week when Nelly performed in St. Louis. So Ricky Prohl gonna need to have a good halftime speech, be able to come back down by 14. All right, back from a commercial break. We'll see. I think there'll be one more before halftime officially ends. He's probably gonna get some locker room discussions here, as well as highlights from week 2, including DC's dominant win over Columbus, Houston's improbable win over Birmingham, and whatever was going on between Louisville and Orlando. That's really the outlier game of the week so far. Of just like, yeah, it was a game that happened. Not much to really talk about from it. Like with DC and Columbus, you have like, oh, DC is back. They bounced back from a tough loss against St. Louis last week. They reminded people that they're the champions or the defending champions. Houston's getting an improbable win. 7.5 point underdogs entering the game. Deckers goes down in late into the first half. Henderson comes in, performs well, gets the job done. Even this game, like Austin Reed coming off of that great performance, what can he do? St. Louis off of that great win, what can they do? Louisville and Orlando was just there. It was just one of those games. Which is fine. I mean, you're going to have one of those type of games every week, it seems. But still, it's kind of just like, it's weird. Yep, at halftime. Second half underway here soon. We shall see. One more commercial break, and then we'll get to that second half action. Halftime's always a bit weird. Gotta manage what you can. But since we're at the half, gonna quickly say, because might as well, we're close to 600 subscribers. So if you're new, subscribe. It'd be greatly appreciated. Going live with basically every single UFL game this season. 42 of the 43 most likely is going to be the case. So stick around for those. In the fall, when the NFL rolls around, I'll be live with about 5 games a week. Every primetime game, every Dolphin game. And I'm going to try to fit in a few other games here and there in between, depending on what the NFL scheduling is like. So yeah, stick around. Greatly appreciated. Subscribe. Second half action on the way here soon. Going over some of the highlights from the first half now in the broadcast, as well as giving us an inside look at the locker rooms, which I'm actually getting. I'm gonna want to hear some of that. Ah, damn. The Florida Panthers just got a very unnecessary win against the Canadians tonight, and I don't know how to feel about it. Actually, never mind. How the hell did the Canadians score in the final minute of this game? They scored in the final 20 seconds. Cool. We want that first overall. Yeah. Yeah, that's just sports teams. Always one or the other. Yeah, it actually did not really give us an inside look at the locker rooms like I think we've gotten in years past. Head into one more commercial break before the second half. We have one more commercial break, then the second half is underway. St. Louis gets ball to begin the second half. Down by 14. Gonna need a solid opening drive of the half to fully come back in this. We shall see. Like I've been like adjacently keeping up with the Marlins game tonight. And I saw what transpired there, and that was kind of funny because how do you, like, what? They got given such a good opportunity, and then just dumb decisions as always. The Heat got blown out by the Raptors, so South Florida sports going well. Yep, at commercial break as we await the start of the second half. At commercial break. Again, the thing with Fox is weird. Fox just likes to fill in commercials. I would have liked to have that second halftime, like maybe a little bit longer and get like a proper inside look at the locker rooms, but oh well. Yeah, week 3 begins Friday night for a rematch between the Storm and the Kings, this time in Louisville. Going to be the first of a few back-to-back matchups we're going to see this season in the UFL. Obviously, Storm and Kings, week 2 and 3. Dallas and Columbus are about to enter a back-to-back in weeks 3 and 4. And then we're going to see Columbus enter another back-to-back with Houston, weeks 5 and 6. So a bit weird. Also, pretty sure I just saw a Media Day clip they used on this broadcast of a St. Louis player wielding the Master Sword. Hell yeah. Because sure. As the second half on the way here soon. Just sure. Yep, second half beginning here soon. Dallas set to send this one away. And we'll see the St. Louis offense trying to rally behind whatever kind of locker room speech was going on there. Tyler Vaughn's already at back-to-back 100-yard games for him receiving wise. He's just been that dude for this Dallas offense. And yeah, that stadium's filling up okay. I think especially after another win tonight, I think we can start seeing Dallas truly fill out that stadium and it'll look really good. Yeah, I could see that. So it was announced, well, first off, the Commanders are announcing new uniforms in a few days on the 12th, I believe. Second, it was announced today the Baltimore Ravens are getting new uniforms being unveiled on the 16th. No idea what they're going to look like. I'm very excited for these. The Ravens have had pretty much the same uniforms since they became a team in 1996. I think there's been a few small changes. But I'm very excited for a Baltimore Ravens rebrand or uniform rebrand. That's going to be very interesting. I am curious on what they're going to do with that because I really like the Ravens uniforms. As the second half is underway here in Dallas, kickoff return beginning from the 4. Spaced out past the 20, past the 25, past the 30, 35, 40, out of bounds around the 41. Great return to begin the second half for St. Louis. How did they build off of it, though? Well, I think as long as gold is the accent color, I don't really mind what gold they use. I'm assuming that they're going to keep purple as the main color. They kind of have to. So I'm just curious on what the style is going to be like. What kind of striping are they going to have? Sleeve designs, if any. Like, it's going to be interesting. Silvers in shotgun back to his left. Handoff up the middle for Jarvion Howard. Going to be stuffed behind the line for a loss of 1. The issue with Baltimore getting new uniforms is their current ones are classics already. They're already good uniforms. So I feel like this is going to be the case where first impressions are not going to be good. But once we see them on the field, that will be like, okay, now we can truly test them out. Silvers is looking to throw in 2nd and 10. Dump off left side, caught by Howard. Breaks off one defender and gets roughly 5 or so. Because I'm going to be straight up right now, I'm probably not going to like the new Ravens uniforms when they first get announced. But because, again, I'm already such a big fan of the current uniforms. But like when I see them on the field and they look good, I'm not gonna like I'm gonna let them grow on me. The Seahawks are weird in terms of their uniform because while yes, their current primary stuffs are like quote unquote classics. The Seahawks are still ones where I would not be opposed to them making throwbacks full time. Silver's pass over the middle is dropped on 3rd and 4. Jacquard Pearson had room to run with it, but couldn't hang on. And the Battlehawks go 3 and out to begin the second half. Yeah, like the new uniforms have definitely grown on me. But I've also those are the main ones I've known most of my life. Like the throwbacks just have that style to them. That like I also get the idea of them not being full time because they would kind of lose that charm to them. But like I would not be opposed to a modern retro Seahawks Brandon. Punt comes off clean, going to be returned up to about the 15. Because like, I'm pretty sure we've talked about this before. All the concepts that have like the current Seahawks logo, but with the color scheme of throwbacks, I think that's the perfect middle ground. Obviously, how the uniforms will look will be a different thing, but I think there's room for that. Yeah, that's fair. And like there probably is a way to keep both. Obviously, just how would you do that is the question. Well, at least like a personal thing. I'm not a massive fan of the numbering for the Seahawks. This is purely because of making graphics for power rankings for Seattle and the way that their numbering gets outlined on those is annoying to me. So I would like to see maybe a little change there, but I don't know. Again, for the most part, the Seahawks I think have a good Brandon. Because like the way that numbering gets outlined is something I never noticed until I started the channel and covering the NFL. So like if it wasn't for that, I would have no opinion on it. But because of that, I'm like, yeah, I kind of wish there was something a little different. At commercial break, waiting for Dallas's first drive of the half. At commercial break. Imagine a Marlins game if it has ended by now. Yeah, they blew that one. All right, just getting back from commercial break. See what Dallas can do on their first drive of the half. As that St. Louis drive only lasted 2 minutes. Not a great look in this league, where typically drives on average last like 6. Reed under center, back behind him. Handoff right side, trying to cut it inside. And going to be stuffed at the line for no gains. Day Hunter on the carry. Yeah. And again, having those distinct stuff from other teams is important. But like the thing with City sports branding is I feel like if you can find a coherence between it all, it makes it a bit easier. Like look like Pittsburgh, for example. Pretty much every Pittsburgh sports team is black and yellow coloring. And it just makes sense. And it's weird when a team isn't. Reed quick pass right side gonna be caught, but going to only get maybe a yard off of it, not much else. Curtis Hodges on the reception. Yeah, have your own color scheme, but still something that like flows naturally. So like, similarly, all the Denver slash Colorado teams, they don't have the exact same color schemes across all of those, but they have similar enough to where they feel cohesive as a sports ecosystem. As there's a penalty before the snap on 3rd and 10. It's a neutral zone infraction against St. Louis. Going to be a 3rd and 5 coming up. Yeah, so like that would work fine. Obviously, there's some sports cities that don't necessarily have that, like Boston, for example, or maybe the entire New England area. Not really the case there, though to a degree there is, because you have like the Patriots and Red Sox, they're pretty similar. And then you have, that's kind of it. I was going to about to say Celtics and Bruins, but those aren't really similar color schemes. Reed in shotgun, back to his right. 2 receivers to each side, looking to throw in 3rd and 4. Pass right side, going to be caught for the first. It's Tyler Vaughns for the first and a little extra. At what point do you just double team the man? Like, at what point do you just say screw it and put 3 on him? Actually, it's just any other receiver but him can beat us for the rest of this game. Reed in shotgun, back behind him. Tight end in the backfield to his right. Ball on their own 28-yard line. Going to hand this off up the middle for Day Hunter, and he is stood up at the line for no gain. All right, 2nd and 10 coming up. I'm saying he lost a yard, 2nd and 11. Probably like lost half a yard or so. Reed in shotgun, back to his right. 3 receiving options to the right as well. Yeah, it's more so a 2nd and 10-ish. Play action, looking to throw. Pass over the middle is intercepted. No idea what he saw there, but it's St. Louis ball on the Dallas 32-yard line. The first true bad pass of the season is A.J. Thomas getting the interception. Now St. Louis needs to capitalize. Not sure what Austin Reed was looking at on that pass. Trying a quick hitter along that left side, just that glance to Tyler Vaughns. And it's A.J. Thomas just following the eyes and getting clear in that passing lane. Yeah, Austin Reed never saw him. But there you go again. Don't let Tyler Vaughns beat you. Yeah. But that could be the momentum shift that St. Louis desperately needs. Silver's in shotgun, back to his right, looking to throw in 1st and 10. Pressure coming. Silver's going to escape one defender. Shovels this one forward to Jarvion Howard and picks up about 3. Creates something out of nothing there. 10 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Second and 7. Silver's in shotgun, back to his left. 3 receivers to the right, looking to throw. Actually going to hand this off up the middle for Jarvion Howard, and then maybe gets a yard there, but not much else room to work. You get gift drafted starting field position, the Dallas 32. If you can't find the end zone, it's going to be a tough end to this. It's always the funniest memes you find out. Not funniest memes to find out some things. Silver's looking to throw in 3rd and 6. Pass deep, left side is well off the mark and incomplete. Definitely miscommunication there between him and whoever's on that outside. So a 4th and 6 was going for Akeem Butler. Makes sense. He thought Butler was going to just run straight. Butler curled it up inside. That's a wasted opportunity. And out comes the field goal unit. Yeah, massive congrats. All right, 45-yard kick for Tucker McCain. Ball on the left hash, or is that centered? Bad camera angle to tell. Kick is up, and it is right down the middle nonetheless. All right, so they get points out of the interception, but at its core, that's a 3 and out. And it's back. It's a 9-point. It's an 11-point game. Not being able to fully capitalize off that hurt. 8:18 to play in the quarter. So at commercial break. Yeah, so today was also the first day of off-season workouts for a bunch of teams in the NFL, including the Miami Dolphins. So we got to hear from Jeff Hafley today. And a lot of the stuff he's saying sounds good. How will it come together? The biggest thing is that they're committed to Malik Willis for 2 years. That seems to be the idea. Which again does not rule out them drafting quarterback. This upcoming draft, next year's draft. It just means that for week 1 this year and in 2027, Malik Willis is the starter. From there, we'll figure things out. So I'm excited. Again, it's a season where it's just we get to see what the team looks like and where it truly needs some help with. Miami's gonna have a good bit of salary cap for next offseason. So I'm expecting a lot of noise. And hopefully it's good noise and not the noise we're used to in Miami of being just meh. I wouldn't be shocked that they have a good relationship. I mean, the same draft class, and they played against each other a few years in Buffalo, New York. Also, I believe I heard that Josh Allen and Haley Steinfeld are expecting soon. Though I probably heard there's something like that. I don't keep up with that side of the sports world too much. That's more so my mom's thing. Like I'll get sent articles from time to time about like, hey, did you see this? I'm like, yeah, cool. And I'm not surprised they're friends. Again, the same draft class. They've worked out. I'm pretty sure they work out together in the offseason sometime as well. Again, you build that you build that friendship between each other after playing each other twice a year for 3 years. Yeah, it's gonna be there. All the draft parties as well. Kickoff underway. Going to be returned beginning from the 4. Face up past the 25, past the 30 to about the 34, maybe 35. There's a penalty down. What is the penalty? It is Holden against Dallas. Gonna push them back some. Starting pretty backed up in their own territory once again now this drive. 8:11 to play in the quarter. All right. Reed in shotgun. Back to his right, 3 receivers to the right as well. Ball on their own 24, looking to throw once again. Pass right side, going to be caught with space, and that's enough for a first down. Gain of roughly 12. As that is Denzel Mims on the reception. And moving the chains. former Battlehawk receiver Denzel Mims, as well as a former Cleveland Brown. Because the Dallas has a few former Battlehawks on this roster trying to get some revenge in this. Quinterio Cole already succeeded in that earlier in this game, getting an interception. Reed in shotgun, back behind him, a tight end to his right. Ball on their own 36-yard line. Reed gonna hand this off up the middle for Ellis Merriweather, and that's a gain of a yard, maybe 2. Not much else going there. Second and 8 coming up. Seven minutes to go in the quarter, continuing to roll. Reed in shotgun, back to his left, 2 receivers to each side. Ball now on their own 38-yard line. Play clock winding down. They get the snap off in time as Reed looks to throw. Quick dump off over the middle, and there's space. Up past midfield and out of bounds around the 48. It is Drake Stoops on the reception. And Dallas past midfield can no longer punt on this drive. I'm going to have to start saying that again to remind myself about that rule because I forgot about it during the first half. One of those things I think you don't actively think about that being a rule until you get to a point where, like in the first half, Dallas gets pushed back 10, 15 yards on 2 penalties, and now all of a sudden you can't punt on 4th and 21. Reed under center, back behind him. 3 receiving options to the left. Play action looking to throw. Pressure coming. Pass over the middle is incomplete. Looking for Ellis Merriweather. 2nd and 10 coming up. Yeah, they got past midfield. And then they had an intentional grounding penalty and a false start penalty. And at that point, like they couldn't really move from there. So they had to go for a Hail Mary to end the half, and it was not a great throw. Reed in shotgun, back to his right, looking to throw in 2nd and 10. Pass right side, gonna be incomplete. There is a penalty down. Looking for Tyler Vaughns. They're gonna get a DPI here, most likely. Being called against Luke Barco, I believe. Yeah, Luke Barco. You have DPI against St. Louis, so the drive continues. Pretty clear DPI there as well. Yeah, gets a fistful of that shoulder. Still nearly an insane catch from Tyler Vaughns on the low throw. But again, like, at what point do you double team Tyler Vaughns and just say don't and just force him to not throw it his way? Because he's the main target for this Dallas offense. Reed under center, back behind him. 3 receiving options to the left. Play clock winding down. Ball in the St. Louis 41. Hand off right side. And that's going to be a loss of a yard just about for Ellis Merriweather. 5 minutes to go in the quarter. Second and roughly 11 coming up. Clock's rolling here. Dallas is using a ton of time on this drive. So 2nd and 11. Reed in shotgun, looking to throw once again. Has some time, pass over the middle, wide open. And is that going to be enough for the first? It would depend on the spot, as there's a helmet down as well. Trying to fight for some extra yards. Is it enough for the first, though? Is Baylor Cup on the reception? And they're going to say it's not. 3rd and 1 coming up. Third and 1. They're in field goal range. So they no matter what, they can get this to a... They can extend this lead a bit. Get it back to 14. Reed under center, back behind him. Handoff right side on the jet sweep. And it's not going to be enough. Only picks up about half a yard for Tyler Vaughns. 4th and inches. 4th and 1 coming up for Dallas. based on the initial look for the spot. We'll see if how generous they are with it. Imagine you just send out the field goal unit. Yeah, 4th and 1's the official. Ruling him short. I mean, you have a pretty reliable kicker. Not the most reliable, but still one you can trust from this range. Though it is also 4th and inches, so I would understand just going for it as well in QB sneak. With the defense that's been playing this well, it'll make sense. And it seems like they're going to keep the offense on the field. It's a 4th and inches. Just QB sneak, handoff up the middle. Yeah, it's going to be Ellis Merriweather in the backfield if it is a handoff. I guess he's more so the power back. Yeah. Read in shotgun. Okay. There's the handoff up the middle, and that's going to be close. I think he got it. I don't like the play call, though. If you're going to hand it off like that, just go standard halfback dive. Should be enough either way, but that's a kind of risky play call. Yeah, it's going to be enough, but I don't know. Well, your defense is playing well enough. You're up by 2 possessions. I get going for it there. But just that play call specifically, as there's a give to Merriweather once again, and this time he's going to lose 2. Yeah, it worked, but I don't think I would have gone with that play call. And then to follow it up with a near identical play call. I don't know. Again, it works, so it's whatever. But that's, I don't know. I guess because like they had a tight end lined up there as well to make that initial push. Pass over the middle is tipped at the line and going to be incomplete as Austin Reed just bats it down. I think it hits off one of his teammates' helmets there. And the 3rd and 12 coming up. 2 minutes to play in the 3rd. Oh, no, it goes off the helmet of a Battlehawk defender. Okay. I think also going shotgun there and just that play call, I think Reed had an option to keep it himself if he felt like that was the better route there. So I guess that's why. Is that why you have 2 ways to go with it instead of just up the middle stuff? But I don't know still. All right, 3rd and 12, and play clock's winding down. Dallas is going to call a timeout here as the play clock was about to expire. A minute 32 to play in a minute 37 to play in the 3rd. And we're heading to a commercial break after the Dallas timeout. Having to scheme up what to do on 3rd and 12. Yeah, it's not something I would have done, but it works, so who cares? Yep, at commercial break. Nice. Yeah, this is a bit of a weird week for me, mainly because of the Tuesday shit. But I think I have everything scheduled to where it should be good. Power rankings goes up tomorrow at 4 o'clock as always. It's just I'm gonna be recording that after stream, as I'm gonna need to write for these 2 teams before I can record. And then everything else is as standard. Thursday predictions, and then PM Friday, and so on. It's just a bit off Tuesday stuff, but oh well. It just means I was able to get a little bit more done yesterday. At commercial break. All right, just coming back from commercial break. 3rd and 12. Reed in shotgun. Back to his right. 3 receivers to the right as well. Ball on the St. Louis 33-yard line. Man in short motion along that right side. Reed looking to throw. Pass over the middle, caught by Merriweather. Makes one man miss and has space. Past the 20 and down to the 18. It's a pickup of 14 and a first down for Dallas. Oh boy. I mean, you did exactly what you wanted to do defensively there. Short and underneath throw. All you had to do was just rally and tackle. And they couldn't. Oh well. 1st and 10. Play clock winding down. Reed in shotgun to get the snap off in time. Hand off up the middle. It's Merriweather for a gain of 3 or 4. One more play at minimum needed before the end of the 3rd quarter. A 2nd and 6 coming up. 20 seconds remain in the quarter. Reed under center, back behind him. 3 receiving options to the right. Going to hand this off up the middle, and that's going to be a loss of about 2, and that will bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter. 15 minutes remain in this 11-point game between 2 undefeated teams. Can St. Louis mount that comeback? Oh, and now there's a penalty. With 1 second to play in the quarter. What is this? With 1 second to play in the quarter. After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness against St. Louis. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first. Oh, what are you doing there? It's against Carlos Davis, the former Birmingham Stallion, and that's just a bad mistake to make. There's no need for that. You're not even near the play. Wait. Where is this penalty coming in at? They just showed a replay of the tackle. They didn't show the actual penalty. The broadcasters are saying he headbutted someone after the play, which I would not be surprised by. Like, that's such a bad penalty to take. You had 3rd and 8. And now we reached the end of the 3rd quarter. But you had 3rd and 8. You had your chance to keep this a proper 2-score game right there. Instead, it's 1st and goal for Dallas when we get back from commercial break with 15 minutes to play. And Dallas has a chance to really make this a tough comeback chance for St. Louis. That's just a dumb mistake to make. Oh well. Oh well. I mean, Dallas has also just been the better team in this game, but like mistakes like that don't help when you're trying to make a comeback. They just straight up don't help. It's just bad mistakes. But we're at commercial break. Yeah, it's I mean, part of it is just like the adrenaline probably getting to him. Like you can't make that kind of mistake. Just can't. Yeah, it's third and kind of long, and you technically have the advantage there because it's inside the 20. There's less ground for your defense to cover. Like you're in a good spot with that to make a stand, and then you just give them a free first and goal now inside the 10 after the half the distance. Like it's not a this is a bad mistake. It's a mental mistake. Now, obviously, like even with a touchdown here, what does it be? With a touchdown, they'll get it to 7. So even with a touchdown and an extra point, I believe it will still be a 2-score game at 18 points in this league. So you're still gonna be in that same spot. But that like 18 points is a lot different than 14 points. Oh yeah, for sure. I would expect him to miss a play or two. Kind of just like calm down. Kind of just like get right a bit. Yeah, it's just a bad mistake. Here we go. Now they're showing it. Yeah, that's such a bad penalty to take. What's the point in doing that? That is, yeah, it's well after the play. That's just bad. Okay, first and goal for Dallas. Ball on the 8-yard line. Reed in shotgun back to his left. 3 receivers to the right. Reed looking to throw. Pass left side, and it is incomplete. Looking for that goal line fade to Curtis Hodges. So second and goal coming up. Yeah, it's not a bad throw on the goal line fade. He could have caught that. Yeah, it's on target. Actually, one of the better goal line fades we've seen. All right, second and goal. There's a Battlehawk having to be. There's a Battlehawk being taken off the field now to be checked up on after the play. All right, Reed in shotgun. Second and goal from the 8. Back to his right. 2 receiving options to each side. Man in motion along that right side. Reed looking to throw. Has some time. Pass. End zone. Tyler Vaughn's. His second of the night. And the Dallas Renegades extend this lead to 17, pending the extra point. Taking advantage of the penalty right at the end of the third quarter. And Tyler Vaughn's, through 2 weeks, he is putting up fantastic numbers. He's having himself a great year so far. That's a beautiful throw from Austin Reed. Jeez. All right, and it is still a 2-score game for St. Louis, so they're still in this, even with this extra point. But it's gonna take a lot to come back. Extra point is up, and it is good. 18-point lead for Dallas. Yeah. It's St. Louis kicking themselves in the foot. They've kind of been doing that most of the game, though to not the same degree. That's a tough one. It is just making next week's game between St. Louis and Birmingham more and more interesting, though. Yeah. I think all St. Louis needs to do is score, get the 3-point conversion, make a stop for the first time in a while, score and get the 3-point conversion again. It's doable, but it's not probable. But at the same time, you never know with spring football, especially a Tuesday night game. You never truly know. Time will tell. At commercial break. I mean, they're just gonna one good drive. If they score quick enough, it's definitely in the cards, but we'll see. We shall see. All right, just coming back from commercial break. I'm excited for the next Houston game. Houston DC should be a fun one on Saturday. That has potential there. Be a 15-play drive. That's a beautiful drive for Dallas. Kickoff going to be returned beginning from the 1, based up past the 20, past the 25, past the 30, and down to about the 35. So another good return for St. Louis. How do you build off of it, though? That's the question. Tyler Vaughns, through 2 games this season, has 260 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns on 17 catches. Have yourself a start to the season, man. Let's go. Love it. Silvers and shotgun back to his right. 3 receiving options to the right as well. Going to hand this off up the middle for Kevon Latulis. And that's space for a gain of 7. Solid carry to begin the drive. I think the tough part for St. Louis is going to be the mindset of this being a 2-possession game. Because typically 18 is 3 possessions, but not in this league. Silvers and shotgun back to his left. Handoff up the middle for Latulis. Makes one man miss. They're going to pick up the first. A gain of roughly 4. Yeah. I would like to get an overtime game in within the first month of action, but I kind of doubt it. Silvers and shotgun back to his right. Gonna hand this off up the middle once again for Kevon Latulis. He gets past midfield to about the 49, gain of roughly 5. I mean, either way, if Dallas wins this or not, the Houston loss already looks a lot better because they beat Birmingham the other day. That alone made things a little bit better for their loss in week 1. Silvers and shotgun back to his right. 3 receivers to the right as well, looking to throw in 2nd and 5. Has some time, a deep shot right side, underthrown and somehow incomplete. No pen. Oh, Jean Harris, but probably could have gotten a taunting call on him though. Instead, it's a 3rd and 5. I am shocked. I am honestly impressed by the ref not throwing a penalty there. Silver's going deep, looking for Stephen McBride, but underthrew that, and McBride instead had to play defense. So 3rd and 5. Silver's in shotgun, back to his right. Have yet to convert on 3rd down today. Pass right side is going to be caught, and I think forward progress gives him the first. There is a penalty down as well now. Stephen Jones on the tackle there. What's his penalty going to be? It was thrown before he took his helmet off. So that alone's a penalty as well. Yeah, that's okay. That's going to be taunting for sure. And then he takes off the helmet as well. That'll be a. I think Stephen Jones getting called for 2 here. So it is a 1st down catch. And then a taunting against Dallas. Called against Stephen Jones. So tack on 15 to the end of the play. And St. Louis in a good spot here to try and find the end zone. I also just love the overtime rules in the UFL, and I want to see them as much as we can. Because the overtime games we got last year were great. and just the way the league handles overtime is fun. It's an interesting watch. Silver's in shotgun, back to his right, 2 receiving options to each side. 1st and 10 from the Dallas 28-yard line. Handoff up the middle for Jarvion Howard. Can get back to the line for no gain. Yeah, so with the league, it's probably not going to happen here, so I probably shouldn't go into detail, but whatever. The league's overtime rules. It is a 2-point conversion shootout. So it causes for some fun, for some build up and suspense. Silver's in shotgun, back to his right, 2 receivers to each side. 2nd and 10, looking to throw once again. Pass left side, gonna be caught to about the 21 or so. Blake Jackson on the reception. $11 minutes to play in the game. Yeah, both of Memphis's wins last year came in overtime, and those were fun games. One was against Birmingham, and I believe the other was against Houston. But those were fun. Silver's in shotgun, back to his right. 3 receivers to the right as well, looking to throw in 3rd and 4. Pass left side, going to be caught up to about the 15 for Akeem Butler. Again, they played too far off coverage. Just hit that quick slant and get the first and keep going. Speaking of improbable comebacks, in 2024, San Antonio had a improbable comeback against Memphis, led by offensive coordinator AJ Smith, who's here in St. Louis now as well. So they very well could. Silver's in shotgun, back to his left. Man in motion left to right to make it trips along that right side. Silver's handoff up the middle for Kevon Latulis, trying to find space, but stood up at the line for no gain. Just under 10 minutes to play in this one. Second and 10 coming up. 9.5 now to play in this. And still counting. They're taking some time off here. Silver's in shotgun, back to his left. 2 receiving options to each side. To get the snap off in time as Silvers looks to throw. Has time, stepping up. Gonna take it himself up the middle and diving forward to the 10. It's a gain of 5. So 3rd and 5 coming up. You're in 4 down territory with what the score is. Also, with how much time you're killing, you're going to have to go for 3. I think either way, you're going to need 3 drives to fully come back in this. Obviously, because to take the lead, you'll need a third. But even to potentially tie it, you're probably going to need a 3rd drive. Third and 5. Silvers alone in shotgun. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. They get the snap off in time, barely. Silvers to throw. Pass left side is incomplete. A little bit off the mark, looking for Tyler Neville. And a 4th and 5 coming up. I mean, you have to go to Akeem Butler here, it feels. If they give you off coverage, get the ball out to him quick. And let him use his size to just get the first. Though I doubt they're going to give you off coverage. Even a 5 yards of off coverage. Yeah, that's off coverage. 8 yards of off coverage along that left side. Silvers alone in shotgun. 4th and 5, looking to throw. Has time, pass right side, it's caught. Inside the 5, the dive-in extension. Tyler Neville is in for 6. St. Louis finally finds the end zone in this game. And, hey, they're bringing this back. They're bringing this to a 1-score game potentially here. It was, good throw. They ran mesh and it worked out. Though, again, Akeem Butler definitely open for the first down there. Worked out in their favor. Go to Tyler Neville instead. And so what's the thought process here? Under 8 minutes to play. You have all 3 timeouts. Currently down by 12. We have a Dallas challenge. What are they challenging? The ball for offensive pass interference. Over the middle here. Oh, no. Yeah, no, Pearson himself doesn't make contact. It's Donald Payne that initiates it over the middle on that pick route. Yeah, that heads up play by Jacquard Pearson to back away there. So Dallas loses the challenge. So they're going to be down to 1 timeout. They lose the challenge. Touchdown stands. Again, I like the super challenge, as they call it. I like it. But, like, yeah, in some moments it can be like, okay, it's getting... Yeah, no, they were not going to win that. Now, if Pearson was the one to initiate the contact, then yeah, they would have won that challenge. But because he didn't initiate anything, no, they're going to lose that. All right, here comes the 3-point conversion attempt. To bring this to a 1-score game, it's going to be a 1 play from the 8-yard line. There's going to be an interesting play call for AJ Smith. 8 yards out to bring this to a 9-point game. Again, Akeem Butler is who both sides are circling here if he's on the field. Yeah, he's lined up in the slot. Silvers in shotgun back to his right. They're sending Butler in motion towards the left side. Silvers looking to throw. Pressure coming. Pass. End zone is Akeem Butler. What? That looked like it was an interception 99% of the way through it. Then somehow Akeem Butler, with highway robbery, catches that pass and the conversion attempt is good. How in the world how in the world is this a successful conversion attempt? That's why Akeem Butler was Offensive Player of the Year last year. Being able to make that catch being able to come down with that ball. That's why he was Offensive Player of the Year last year. One of many reasons. And we have a 1-score game with just under 9 minutes to play. Just like that. They triple teamed him. The pass was underthrown. How did... Come on, man. It's a cheat code. It can't... It's a cheat code at times. But at commercial break. Yep, welcome on in. All's good here. Hope we can get a good finish in this. Yeah. Technology's weird sometimes. As we're at commercial break. That 3-point conversion attempt still don't make sense. But it sets up St. Louis well. They have all 3 timeouts, plenty of time to get the ball back. They just need to force a punt or force a turnover. And we're talking about the comeback being complete potentially. All right, here's the just under 8 minutes to play in the game. Here's the replay again of that 3-point try. How in the world? Like it's into triple coverage. It's a throw into triple coverage. It's a back foot throw into near triple coverage. How does Akeem Butler come down with that pass? Like that should not have been caught. That's crazy. All right, kickoff underway. Gonna bounce and be returned beginning from the 10. Up past the 25 and down to about the 27. Dallas will start from there. If they score again, you're talking about potentially the game being it. Yeah. If Bob Flash were here, he would follow that sentiment of him being the dude. Akeem Butler has been one of many players in this league that should have been given a chance in the NFL sooner. So I feel like he's at some point he will, but I think part of the issue is also just his age. It was a penalty before the snap on this play. Encroachment against St. Louis. So 1st and 5 coming up. Like, I wouldn't be opposed to Miami giving any of these receivers in the league a chance here. I wouldn't be opposed. Because again, Miami's receiver room right now is Read in shotgun, play action looking to throw, rolling right, passing right, and it's through the hands and incomplete. There we go. Jeez. Steve looking for Greg Ward on that one. Either Greg Ward or Seth Green, I believe. Either way, 2nd and 5 coming up. Yeah, that's okay. Now it's just down to the defense. Defense gotta give the offense one more chance. Reed in shotgun back behind him. Tight end in the backfield to his left. Handoff up the middle. That's a gain of about 2. It's Day Hunter on the carry. Big 3rd down here. It's a 3rd and 3. Yeah, Hunter was very close to breaking that one big. Got tripped up near the line. 7 minutes to play. 3rd and 3. How much life are they willing to give St. Louis? Reed and shotgun. Back to his right. 3 receivers to the right as well. Reed looking to throw. Pass right side. Caught, but brought down behind the line is Day Hunter. It's a loss of about 4. And the Renegades go 3 and out. St. Louis is going to have a chance to tie the game on this next drive. They tried the quick hitter. Pass wasn't as accurate as it needed to be. And we get a 3 and out for Dallas. This could be a great finish to this game. This could be great. 6 minutes and counting. This could be a fun finish. St. Louis's offense. They finally found the end zone on their previous drive. They're going to need to do it once more. As they're not getting that snap off in time. Yeah, that's a delay of game against Dallas. Now 4th and 11. All right. Fourth and 11. I believe that also stops the clock briefly, so did they give St. Louis a bit extra time here? Yeah. At 4th and 11, a blocked punt would be. Punt comes off clean. Going to be returned beginning from the 33. Space past the 40, 45, about the 46. Really good return. And out comes Brandon Silvers. Only need about 54 yards. But first a commercial break with 5:28 to play in the game. It's a 1-score game late. What can St. Louis muster up here? This could be a really fun finish. So at commercial break. Birmingham, Houston. I think that one will, because while yeah, this is a 1-possession game, it's a 9-point game. So if you're Dallas, you're still feeling fine right now, even though mainly because of also how your defense has been playing leading up to this point for the most part. Last night, or not last night, God, I wish it was morning. Sunday night. That was a true back and forth game. Now, if this goes to overtime or it comes down to a 3-point conversion with no time left, then we might have a different story there. But nah, I'm still saying Birmingham, Houston. Yeah, it's those last 2 minutes, all the challenges, the penalties, coming down to a long field goal, everything is just lined up perfectly for that. This finish is going to be fun, but it's probably going to be more of a traditional finish still at the end of the day. Whereas the Birmingham Houston one was just the UFL being the UFL. All right, ball on their own 46. Silvers and shotgun back to his right. 2 receivers to each side. Hand off up the middle for Jarvion Howard. Going to get back to the line of scrimmage for no gain. Not bad, not bad. All right, 2nd and 10. Silvers and shotgun. Back to his left. 3 receivers to the right. And I want at least 5 here. Silvers to throw. Has some time. Pass tipped at the line and incomplete. All right, 3rd and 10. Probably be better not getting too many yards now, so you can still punt it away and trying to pin them deep. But then it's coming down to the defense once more. Well, you would much rather just pick up the first and keep going. But I think if you're Silvers, instead of trying to force something in, you just try and make sure you can punt this here. Silvers alone in shotgun. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left, and Dallas will call their final timeout with 4:27 to play. Dallas has no timeouts remaining now. And they're going to give St. Louis time to think over this 3rd and 10 situation. What exactly do they want to do here? Third and 10. Big time 3rd down. 4:27 to play. If you have the mindset of going for it on 4th down, you want at least 5. No, this is where again, the mind games could come in. Dallas could purposely jump off sides, either on 3rd and 10 or if it gets to a 4th and something, and then that way they can't punt and try to either get them backwards if it's still 3rd and 5 or be able to make a stand. Because unless they get the first, they won't be going for a field goal here. Silvers and shotgun back to his left. 2 receivers to each side. Ball on their own 46. Silvers looking to throw. Pressure coming. Pass over the middle is caught. Breaks off 1 defender. And gonna get brought down at the Dallas 48. So it's a gain of 6. That's about what you wanted to be able to go to. You're gonna have to go for it anyway, even if you only got 4. It's a 4th and 4. 4 minutes to play. It's not quite for the game, but it sure feels like it. Silvers and shotgun back to his right. 2 receivers to each side. Play clock winding down. Silvers making some adjustments. You're at 6 seconds on the play clock. You have to get the snap off soon. Back now to his left. To get the snap off in time. Silvers pass right side. And it's incomplete. Steven Jones on the pass breakup as he was looking for Akeem Butler along that right side. And with 3:41 to go, Dallas up by 9. Needs about 2 or 3 more first downs. They gave that off coverage look. Oh no, that was towards Stephen McBride. That's why it was incomplete. If that was Akeem Butler, he has the hand strength to hold on to that. All right. Comes down to this St. Louis defense once again. They have all 3 timeouts. So as long as they don't give up points, they're going to have 1 more chance. Reed in shotgun back behind him. Tight end in the backfield to his right. Handoff up the middle. Gonna get past midfield. And it's a gain of about 4. So now Dallas can no longer punt. If St. Louis can force them back a bit, maybe get him to go false start, maybe get the first sack of the game, St. Louis can be in a good spot here if they can just push them back. It's not quite over yet. Though a first down pickup, it will make it tougher for St. Louis. Reed under center, back behind him. Handoff left side, and going to get about 2 or 3 on the carry, up to the 45. It makes it a 3rd and relatively short. It's a 3rd and 3. And Dallas needs to run one more play before the 2-minute warning. So again, if they make the stand, St. Louis can get the ball back without having to call a timeout. But they're going to need to make 2 stands on short yardage situation. Reed in shotgun back to his right. Man in motion right to left. Reed looking to throw. Pressure coming. Pump faking. Pass over the middle is incomplete. Now there's a penalty down. Did Reed get hit late there? What's the penalty? What's the penalty? It's roughing the passer. That might be it. Another mental error from St. It's Carlos Davis again. Is there any way? Yeah, he hits him a bit late. How late are we talking, though? Is it late enough? I mean, they can have all 3 timeouts still, but that puts Dallas in the field goal range. And you just had it at 4th and 3. That'll bring us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play. And that roughing the passer probably just sealed the game. It's Carlos Davis. 2 just bad mistakes in this one. It's just 2 mental errors. The very late headbutt. And then the late hit there against Austin Reed. Like, it's tough. It's tough. Those are 2 bad mistakes to make. And both of those mistakes cost St. Louis in this one. Obviously, there's a ton of other mistakes and miscues that St. Louis had. It's not all on Carlos Davis. But those are going to be the 2 that are most remembered, aside from the interception, because those are blatant bad penalties to take. And 2 very key moments in the game when you had a 3rd and 8 to potentially force a field goal, and instead gave up a touchdown. And now what would have been a 4th and 3 to give your team the chance. It sucks because he is such a talented defensive lineman. He has such talent. Those are just 2 really bad mental errors to make. The first one especially. The second one I could understand I can understand like weaving it for it to be understandable. Like, oh, you have a guy in the sack get this game trying to make a play. But like, at that point in the game, if you're going to go for a sack, wrap him up and slowly and try to bring him down that way. Don't push him at the shoulder pad, because that's asking for roughing a passer. If you just wrap him up and then let go after you realize he threw the ball without bringing him down, it's a 4th and 3 right now. So like that's where the mental error comes in there. Not going for the sack, how you went for it. And that's something that can be worked on. But oh well. Just coming back from commercial break. Again, Dallas still needs a first down. The kicker has missed earlier in this game. He also missed an extra point earlier, so it's not guaranteed just yet. But I mean, they got the performance they wanted out of this offense. Reed under center, back behind him. 2 receiving options to each side. Handoff right side for Day Hunter, going to be brought down at the line for no gain, and St. Louis will start calling timeouts. Yeah, we'll see. But it sucks not having those timeouts to work with offensively now. All right, week 3 begins Friday night. Orlando takes on Louisville in back-to-back weeks. That's at 8 p.m. Saturday at noon, DC takes on Houston. It's DC's home opener. Should be a great one. And then next Sunday, we have a doubleheader beginning with Columbus and Dallas. And then it'll be ending with Birmingham and St. Louis because those are legit back-to-back. One's at noon, one's at 3. It would just be one long 6+ hour long stream for those games. So that would be fun. I haven't done one of those since last year. Those are always fun to do, though. Reed in shotgun, looking to throw on 2nd and 9. Passing deep, left side, and it's caught. Tyler Vaughn. He has another, and that is the icing. What a throw from Austin Reed to cap off another fantastic game. It's now a 15-point Dallas lead. Perfect throw. Great high point catch. This Dallas team is going to be fun all year. Tyler Vaughn's, man. Have yourself a night. That is a beautiful throw. Just over the fingertips of the St. Louis defender. Dallas plays at home next week. I better see this stadium filled. Because this is a team this is a team you should go see in person. The extra point is up and it is good. This stadium should be as full as possible with all the renovations going on. Austin Reed and Tyler Vaughns. That is your 1-2. Absolute beautiful game. I mean, even though they scored less, this is a better showing of Dallas's offense than last week was. Because it's more complete. And it's still electric. Yeah. Like against Houston last week, it was a fun game. They threw for 375 yards and all that. This was a more impressive game to me. Because they were doing it all. They were beating St. Louis on every facet of this game. They beat a really good St. Louis defense handedly. Like this was the game I wanted to see from Dallas to make me feel confident in shooting them up the rankings. This was the exact game. Kickoff underway. Going to be returned beginning from the 2. Face out past the 15, out past the 20, 25. And brought down near the 27, maybe 28. Yeah, that's true. Austin Reed in week 1 breaks a UFL record for passing yards in a single game. In week 2, he ties the single game record for passing touchdowns, while Tyler Vaughns breaks the UFL record for receiving touchdowns in a game. This is a historic Dallas offense that people need to go see. It's a noon game on Sunday, which is going to be weird. But they should be able to fill out this stadium next week. Silver's quick dump off right side, caught by Javon Howard. Has space for a gain of 8 or 9, and they have to go quick. Down by 16, you need to score fast. Ruling it a gain of 9. Silvers in shotgun back to his right. 3 receivers to the left. Going to look to throw in 2nd and 1. Pass over the middle, caught by a wide open Stephen McBride. Trying to find space, going to get up to maybe the 45 based on forward progress. Clock briefly stops at 1:11. Still going quick. Yeah, no, Dallas is looking light years better than most of the other offenses. DC might be a close one, but I need to see them be more consistent. Silver's looking to throw in 1st and 10. Pressure coming, and there's the first sack of the night. About time someone found the backfield. And St. Louis will call their first timeout. It's Darius Morange on the sack. Willie Taylor also in the backfield there. Probably might get some credit about it though. You know, this Dallas team, man. It is just a fun team. And what's even crazier is they have back-to-back against Columbus coming up. Dude, they're going to be, there's a chance they're 4-0, averaging 30 points a game after the first month of play. And like, and there's a chance that they have beaten 3 teams in 3 different ways, which would be insane. Silver's looking to throw in 2nd and 19. Has some time, launching one deep right side. That's caught to the Dallas 40 for Jacquard Pearson. All right, gotta go quick. 51 seconds. Yeah, no, this is the type of team the Cowboys wish they were. Silver's in shotgun. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Looking to throw once again on 1st and 10. Stepping up, going to take it himself and slide down for a gain of 3. 37 seconds remain. There is a penalty down now as well. We'll see what this is. It's defensive holding. So 5 yards, automatic first. First and 10 coming up. Silver's alone in shotgun. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Ball now on the Dallas 33. Silver's looking to throw once again. Has some time, rolling left, takes it himself, gets to the 25 before sliding down. You have 1 timeout remaining. They're going to not call it. Call the timeout. Instead, they're going to spike it with 19 seconds to go. Okay. I mean, it's getting less and less likely as more time ticks off the clock. Third and 2 coming up. Yeah, this Dallas team, man. Silver's looking to throw in 3rd and 2. Pass left side, going deep for the end zone, is off the mark and intercepted. And that will do it from Dallas. Shaun Wade gets the game-sealing pick as Silvers was forcing one towards Akeem Butler. And the Dallas Renegades, with 2 very impressive wins to begin the season, both at home. They have 1 more home game next week before their first road trip in week 4. So we'll see. We'll see if this kind of offense can translate on the road. I think it will. They're a beaten team. They've played 2 games. They've beaten both teams in 2 different ways. It's impressive. This is a good team. Austin Reed for the final kneel down, and that is it. Week 2 has ended. Tomorrow, power rankings. I'm going to be recording that and getting that set up tonight to be edited and all that. Predictions for week 3 go out Thursday as usual. And then Friday night begins week 3 as Louisville takes on Orlando once again, this time in Louisville. Will there be a different outcome? We shall see. Who knows? Time will tell. But I appreciate everyone tuning in. One final time, I'm going to quickly say subscribe if you're new. It's greatly appreciated. Week 2 wraps up. Week 3 pretty much begins right now as well. Again, Power Rankings goes up tomorrow. I have to get work on that. So, see you all next time. Have yourselves a damn good one. Peace.